Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Lindsay Cairns. I am the Program Manager of the Obstetrics Department here at City Hospital. And today I'll be presenting you a few interventions to help with racial bias in healthcare. So, here's the issue. There is a disparity in the maternal mortality rates that are occurring in America. According to the CDC, 42.8 deaths occur per 100,000 live births among Black women. Now, on the other hand, only 13 deaths occur per 100,000 live births for their white counterparts. And the three main causes of death are hemorrhaging, sepsis infections, and chronic conditions. Now, all of these causes of death can be prevented or controlled throughout a pregnancy and directly after childbirth, so that mortality is not the end-all be-all. There is something occurring that is keeping Black women from receiving the care that they need and deserve. So what we think is a contributor to the problem is inherent and learned racism amongst Americans, and then more specifically, racism occurring among medical staff. So racism is a pretty large social concept, and it can be approached through a socio-ecological model, and the individual level can be approached, the interpersonal level, organizational level, community level, and policy level can all work together to change how women are perceived in society, and especially Black women are perceived. So here at City Hospital, we're more looking towards the organizational level. So we can help by offering insurance to those that do not have it, are low socioeconomic status, are of a minority. However, it has been shown that it's not only low-income Black women who aren't receiving the care that they deserve. It is all Black women, middle-class Black women, upper-class Black women, 1%ers. So it's health equity is the main idea that we want to approach through these interventions. So our three interventions is a cultural competence training, culturally adapted healthcare, and health literacy training. So the cultural competency training is going to be a class for the staff to take to learn about the history of different cultures in this nation and how what we've learned and how we talk and what we can do differently to help those cultures that are less privileged than our own. Now, culturally adapted healthcare is we're going to take all of the brochures, information packets, how we talk to our patients, and we're going to change it all so that we can talk to each culture the way that they would like to be approached. So we will take community advocates from each cultural community in our demographic and work with them to change languages or words used or different approaches to speaking, who in the family should be spoken to, and how should these families be approached. Then lastly, we'll do the health literacy, which we will take a health literacy professional and have them help us change our, again, brochures and information packets and maybe even make videos. But we want everything to be that gets disseminated to our patients to be at an 8th grade reading level or even lower, because those things can get confusing, regimens can get confusing, medications can get confusing. So what we want is autonomy amongst our patients. We want them to understand what they're doing, because the autonomy then turns into them asking questions and feeling braver when talking to medical professionals, because it can be hard, especially as a woman, a Black woman in America today, to speak to a medical professional who, they have the knowledge. Why would I want to ask them that question? I don't know. And so we want them to be able to ask questions and feel comfortable talking about their treatment in their pregnancies. So, to evaluate these 3 interventions for the cultural competency training, we're going to see, are there less patients reporting bias from staff? And we will do this through the use of surveys given to patients after they have received their services. For culturally adapted healthcare, our outcome measure will be, do the clients feel that their culture was respected during their time in care? And this will also be collected through surveys distributed to patients. And finally, for the health literacy evaluation, our outcome will be, are patients more educated, and do they have more autonomy over their health? This will also be collected through surveys. So there are a few barriers to the evaluations that we will be performing, and we want to make sure that our staff learn something from their training. So we will be providing pre and post tests to the staff just before we even send those surveys out to the patients, because we want to make sure the staff is able to understand what they have to do in order for the patients to see success. We also want to have compensation for focus groups for participants. So our participants will be working with the health literacy professional and the cultural, the advocates, the community health advocates, and they will work in focus groups to make sure that all of the material is understandable and easy to relate to. We also want to make sure that there's no bias, so patients are not answering questions as they believe they should be answering them. So when they're taking surveys, we don't want them to answer the question so they think the way they think we want them answered. So we'll make sure that surveys are anonymous, and we will not be able to track them back to who they were unless they want to speak about their experience. We also want to make sure that there's enough surveys completed by the patients to find a viable difference in the outcome. So if only 2 surveys come back, we're not going to have enough evidence to show that these interventions actually worked. So here's a logic model that shows the inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, and impact that these interventions should have. So overall, we need a cultural competency training leader, we need community health advocates, and health literacy experts. These three groups of people are very important to make sure that our interventions occur. We also need the time, staff, funds, and materials. So activities here are the 3 actual interventions, and our outputs are that staff is more culturally aware. We want culturally appropriate and health literate brochures and information sheets. In the end, we hope to see a decrease in the number of patients reporting biased treatment from staff by 85% in 1 year. We also hope to see that staff shows no bias towards patients and offers culturally appropriate and equitable health care. And lastly, we'd like to see that 75% of patients report autonomy over their health care 1 year after the intervention is completed. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for being here today. Again, here are some references for where I found my data and the 3 interventions. Thank you so much.